Hi, my name is Suzanne Libertilia, and I thought I would talk to you today about why I know that complex problems can only be managed rather than solved. And the reason I know that is I have lived with curly hair my entire life. And when you have curly hair, you realize that complex problems can only be managed. And the reason I know this is that I know that I will never ever know what my hair is going to look like until after I've washed it, styled it, let it dry. It's only clear what the outcome is when you've been through everything. So it's only looking back or in hindsight that you know what the outcome is going to be. And that is exactly what happens with a complex problem. So I'm sure lots of other people out there with curly hair can relate to the fact that you've got lots and lots of different products. You've got styling creams, you've got hair gels, you've got wonder conditioners and all sorts of things that promise great results. But oftentimes they just don't work the way that is expected. And you might have a friend who's got curly hair as well who gets absolutely fantastic results from a product, but it won't work for you. And that is because you need to do your own probing. You need to do lots of experimenting to find what works for you. And when you find a product that works, well, you ramp it up, you use it a lot. And that's what we call amplifying a good result. But if a product doesn't really give you very good results, some people will use it until the end because they don't like to waste things. But how many people with curly hair actually have part-filled bottles of product just sitting underneath their bathroom sink? So that's what we call probing. And then you start to get a sense of what works. So it's not just about the product, it's also about the technique that you use. So there are certain things that I know if I don't do when I wash my hair, it's going to be like straw. And even sometimes when I do them, it's like straw because we might have had a week of very, very humid weather. Or I might have had to really rush drying my hair, or I might not have been able to dry it at all. So there are lots of different factors at play in the system in which my hair exists. The other thing that happens is that seasons change, and what might have worked for you for 9 months of the year just does not work during summer. The products that are just miracle products are useless. And sometimes you have to make a decision about whether you put up with poor performance or whether you try something different so that you can get a different result. So that means that you need to think about how you respond in a way to what you're sensing from the system. So if you're sensing that your hair products are just absolutely useless at the moment, you might choose to try something different. And if that works, you'll keep using that. If it doesn't, you might go and choose something else. So I know this has been a bit of a strange way to explain some of the things to keep in mind when working with complexity. But what is most important to remember is that you cannot control complexity. You can only seek to manage it. And the way that you go about managing it is to actually probe, to try and get different perspectives so that you can actually get a sense of what is happening in the system, so that you can do some experimenting, and the things that work, ramp those up, amplify them. If they don't work, stop them, dampen them down. And it's all about having good feedback loops and understanding early as possible when you need to change the way in which you're responding to the situation. So I hope you found that helpful and that there's a few takeaways for you there.